Hi you guys, welcome to another video. I'm coming to you from Australia right now and I am drinking some raw milk with raw egg yolks and raw honey, and raw egg yolks really help get your brain going and focused. So I like to have this before I work or get on here and talk, for example, just because it really helps with thinking and mental clarity to have raw egg yolks. There's a lot of nutrients in raw milk, raw egg yolks, raw honey that are really good for you. This drink will literally make your skin glow, and also very hydrating, much more hydrating than water. I highly recommend that you guys try making this drink. I have it like once or twice a day right now. It's so good. Okay, I know it's been a few weeks since I've done a YouTube video and I've just had a lot going on. Today's video, I'm gonna talk to you guys about how I got to where I am now. You guys ask me all the time, and you guys know, let me adjust this. I think most of you guys know that I used to be a model, and obviously I don't really work in the modeling industry anymore, and it wasn't just like overnight that happened for me. It was a path that I chose that ended up being very spiritual and created me into the person that I am today. I know on my social media I mostly talk about health, and the reason that I talk about health, holistic health, and true health, and want to teach you guys how to get healthy and be the most healthy and beautiful version of yourself is because when you reclaim your health and you bring life force into your body, this is strengthening your energy. This is making you powerful, and this is such a key puzzle piece and such an important component into creating the life that you want to live, taking your power back, taking your energy back, breaking free from things that are holding you back, listening to your own intuition, listening to guidance from higher forces, and being able to follow your soul's path that it is asking you to follow in this life. And so if you're not healthy, you can't really do this because your health is so important for your energy, and in order to create with the energy of your mind and your heart, you need your health, because that's what gives you energy. That's what charges you up and gives your heart and your mind that energy to create the life that you want. Once you have your health in order, and once you are full of life force and vitality and energy, it gives you the power to create your own reality and the strength to be able to follow your inner guidance and follow the path that your soul has chosen for this life and is trying to show you the way. So I modeled in New York for a few years. I'm not going to go too much into my modeling history because I have more about that in another video, but anyways, basically I was a model, and I started to realize that I was not healthy. I was really struggling with my health. I was skinny, I was malnourished, I was vegan for a time, I was plant-based for a time, I just wasn't eating enough, and I had to fit these like really small industry standards for my measurements to model. And so I started to realize that this was not healthy. Anyways, I was modeling and I ended up moving to LA where there was more sunshine than New York, and I got to be on the ocean. I started bodybuilding, I started feeling stronger, and I honestly just started feeling like, F the modeling industry, I don't want to be in this, it's so not me. I want to go live in nature. I want to be able to suntan whenever I want, because as a model they told us not to suntan. There were all of these restrictions that we had, and I just started to feel like I wanted to break free. I knew that I needed to break free, and it became so uncomfortable for me. And I went through a few catalyst experiences in my life that made me realize I didn't want to keep being a model for so many reasons. One, the modeling industry is so parasitic. It uses beautiful young girls and capitalizes on them and encourages them to be very unhealthy, to fit these unhealthy standards. I didn't want to keep giving my energy and power away, and I felt like I had to fit in a box there, and I just wanted to break free of it and be in nature. This is where I feel my best, and this is where I love to spend the majority of my time in nature. I'm honestly a bit of a hermit, you guys. I like to spend most of my time alone. I have my really close friends and my boyfriend that I love to spend time with, but there's times when I just need to be alone. If any of you guys watching this and feel like that, there's no need to feel guilty for that. I need so much alone time to feel my best. And the times that are most powerful spiritually, when you receive the most guidance and the most downloads and the strongest intuition, this will all come when you're alone, when you have your alone time and you're in your own energy, because this is when you can listen. This is when you can be aligned to listen to guidance. So anyways, I started spending a lot of my time alone. I started spending all of my time alone, really, and spending it outside, swimming in the ocean, with trees. I also started meditating and spending as much time in the sun as possible. And this really attuned my frequency to be able to receive really big downloads. And I started feeling that I was being guided. Prefacing this with, growing up, I was atheist. I didn't believe in any higher power or anything like that. And this whole journey over the past few years has brought me to a place of my life feels more spiritual than anything else. This is the physical reality that we're in, and there are things that we don't see here. God, there are other beings that are higher powers in other realms that can see us and interact with us, and nature is alive, nature is breathing, nature is listening. There are so many things that happened along these few years of a journey for me that absolutely broke and completely shattered my understanding of reality, because of the impossibility of certain things to happen without God being at play, without higher powers and higher beings assisting me and showing me these things, like situations that absolutely just shattered my entire perception of reality. So anyways, I was in LA and I knew that I wanted to stop modeling, and I felt that I wanted to start posting on social media and posting about how I got healthy, because when I got healthy is when everything started to change for me. It was like all of a sudden I had life force and energy back in my body, and it was absolutely life-changing for me. So that was my initial pull to start posting on social media, because I really struggled with my health for so many years. I stayed in a terrible relationship, terrible dynamics. I was living a life that I absolutely hated. I was extremely depressed. I had so much anxiety. I barely spoke. I was insecure. I felt like I was in the depths of hell for a few years, and I'm not going to go into too much of that right now, but I called my friend at the time and I said, okay, this is what's happening, and I want to start doing social media, and I'm not exactly sure how to do this. Like, I know that I need to support myself financially, and I don't want to continue modeling, and this is the vision that I have, that I feel like I've been given. This is another thing, you guys. If you have dreams, if you have like visions that comes to you, these are given to you by God. God gives you dreams because this is what is meant for you, and that exists. It already exists. It's just a matter of you shifting your vibration to be living in that reality and basically meet that vision. So moral of what I'm saying is that if you have a vision and you have a dream, it's not impossible. It's given to you because it is possible, and it's what you're meant to live in and fulfill. It's just a matter of you matching the frequency and vibration of that reality. It already exists. So I called my friend and I was like, hey, so this is what's happening. What do I do? And he was like, and he said, okay, well, it would be good if you can just find a job that would be a midway job until you're making money doing your social media. It's very possible for you. He was also in social media, so it was very helpful for me to have someone to be like, this is totally possible for you. You can definitely make a living doing this. Because honestly, growing up, I was not programmed to believe that I was capable and that things were possible for me. It was quite the opposite for me. So also this whole journey has been a journey of really breaking down those negative beliefs that I was growing up with and creating new ones. Anyway, so he said, okay, find a job that's going to be like enough time for you to be working on your social media and be doing the job so it's not all consuming and still support you. So this is when I started to feel like I was being helped, and that if I was listening to the guidance that God was giving me, of course, wants to help me. it was really fast. All of a sudden I was like, I would love to do farmers markets and work on a farm and be a raw milk girl, because raw milk was one of the most healing foods for me when I started to gain weight and heal my body and regain my health and life force. I just fell in love with raw milk. I would drink half a gallon a day sometimes. So I just thought, wow, I would love to work at a farmer's market and be a raw milk girl and talk to everybody and tell them about the amazing benefits of raw milk, that they don't need to be scared of raw milk. And I just thought that would be such a great job. I would be able to be outside in natural lighting, out of fluorescent lighting, which give me really bad headaches. I also said that I would love to be a raw milk delivery girl, like go and deliver raw milk to families, like as part of my job working on the farm, and be around the animals and things like that. So anyways, I had that phone call. I was like, that would be my ideal situation. And I had fun talking about it because I was like, oh my god, that would be so amazing and so fun. So my emotions were involved in it. I was visualizing it in my head. And I was still in LA at this time, and later that day I went to meditate with this giant pine tree that I would spend time with every day. It was so thick, it was like, I loved this pine tree, and I was sitting with the pine tree, and all of a sudden I felt that the pine tree told me that I needed to go to Florida, and that I needed to go to Florida, and that I needed to swim in the ocean there, that it would be healing for me. And I was unsure what to do. My living situation was about to end, and I needed to either go somewhere else or move. So I listened to that, and like that, I made the decision that I wanted to go to Florida, and flew to Florida. Right when I got there, I was staying with some people, and I wasn't sure exactly where I wanted to live yet, and I still didn't have a job figured out. And I went to go pick up some raw milk. I found a farm online that sold raw milk, and right when I got there, I went to pick up raw milk. When I went in that store, I got offered a job to do this farmers markets, deliver raw milk one day a week, and yeah, to sell raw milk and grass-fed steaks for this farm, and then also work at the farm one day a week. And I wasn't sure if that was going to be enough to support me, and it ended up being the most money I've ever made up until that time working at the farm, because I worked on commission. So I got a percentage of all of the sales, and I loved what I did there. Wait, backtrack. That is exactly what I said on the phone to my friend and imagined in my dream scenario of what I wanted to do for work while I was building my social media. I also thought it would be a great experience because in the future I'd love to have a little farm and animals, and yeah, I just wanted to work on the farm and be around the animals and learn about being on a farm. Also, I saw my angel number right when I was pulling out of the farm. And actually, right when I pulled in the farm, before I even went to talk to anybody, there's a very specific, I'm not going to say, but there's a very specific bird sign that I asked for. And right when I pulled into the farm, I saw that sign in a bird, and I just knew that it was meant to me to go to that farm. Then a few minutes later, I got offered the job. This was such a dream come true for me. From getting this job, I was able to get my first apartment that I had alone. It was like I dreamed it up in my mind, and it was just created. And I was living in North Florida, right by the ocean. This tiny house that I ended up living in had this loft bed, was right on the water, 5 minutes away from the ocean. It was the perfect serene spot for me during that time. So I started working at the farmer's market. I was making the most money I had ever made in my life, and I just thought, wow, I didn't even know this was possible. And this is why I recommend farmers markets to you guys. If you're looking to do a feminine job, go to farmers markets and ask around. I also worked with a beekeeper that sold raw honey, which was really great, and I got to go out and do some beekeeping as well. So farmers markets are a great place to work, you guys. You can work on commission sometimes and make really good money, and you get to work with incredible people that do beautiful things and provide beautiful and healthy food for people, and learn what goes into all this stuff. So anyways, that's kind of going off on a tangent. I could do a whole nother video about that. So I started working at this farm, and I got into working. I had been working there for a couple months, and then I started posting more on my socials, and I decided that I wanted to meditate on what I wanted to happen, because I had never really done focused meditations of visualizing my dream and what I wanted. It was just 2 or 3 nights in a row that I sat down in my bed right before I went to sleep and I meditated on what I wanted to happen, which was I wanted my following to grow, and I prayed before my meditation as well and after my meditation. I prayed that my following grows online and that my videos are seen by millions of people so that I can help girls and women with their health and increasing their energy and increasing their frequency to help increase the frequency of the entire earth and help women. This was what I felt I was being called to do. 2 days later, I had my first video go viral and get millions of views. It's probably, I think it maybe went up to like 8 or 10 million views. And my following went from like 2,000 or 3,000, started to go up really fast last year, which is when this was all happening. So it wasn't even too long ago. And that happened, and you guys, I realized that I could create my own reality. So I got serious about it. I started meditating every day, multiple times a day, morning and night. I was saying my affirmations and always saying how grateful I was for everything, because you guys, being grateful and having gratitude and appreciation and feeling that emotion from your heart is so incredibly powerful for creating your reality. So you have your mind, which has its own energy and your thoughts and everything like that, and producing a frequency, and then you have your heart, and your heart is so much more powerful than your mind. It is a portal, it is an anchor for love, it is your connection to your higher self. It's so much more than what you can possibly imagine. But anyways, what you need to know is that your heart is creating a frequency and your emotions are connected to your heart. So when you feel gratitude, when you feel appreciation, when you feel love, when you feel these high vibrational feelings, it is creating basically a field around you. Pair this with your thinking and intentional thoughts and holding the vision of your dream in your mind with these really strong emotions and frequencies from your heart, and you can draw anything to you. These experiences with manifesting the exact job to the T at the farm and the house that I wanted. It was like this tiny loft. I just wanted to live alone in nature, and I had never seen anything like that in the area. I didn't know it existed. I just had this picture in my mind. And then also my meditations about my social media growing and being able to reach millions of people to help women with their health and raise their frequency and increase their vibration to get healthy and reclaim their energy and regain life force, which so many women are drained of. The majority of women are so drained of their life force. And so I got very serious about this because I saw and felt, and it was shown to me, that God was supporting me in this mission that I felt that I was given, and all I had to do was follow the guidance and keep my energy aligned, keep my vision in my mind and in my heart, and I knew that I was being guided and I knew that I would be helped. So I would work on the farm for 4 days a week, and then I had 3 days off, and I was building my social medias. You guys, I was hustling, and I don't think that this is necessarily healthy for girls. So anyways, I went through this period of where I worked really hard. I worked 4 days a week on the farm, and then the other 3 days of the week I worked on my social media, and really every day I was working on my social media. But the days that I worked on the farm, you guys, that was no easy job. I was working 12, 13, 14 plus hours a day. It was also a very physically demanding job. Like, I was working so hard, especially in the summer months. It would be over 90 degrees, and I would go to the farmer's market by myself, set up by myself. Like, I was a one-woman show running this whole thing. And honestly, sometimes I look back at that time and I'm like, how did she do that? Because I was always working so hard, and at the same time I was so full of energy. Like, I felt that I was just being given energy to be able to do this, and I wanted to make the switch. I wanted to make the switch from modeling to doing social media and sharing my message, and as I've explained, the direction that I was given as to why I wanted to start posting on social media and make that my job, because I felt that my soul was calling me there, and so much is calling me there. Anyways, I was working so hard, my following kept growing. I just kept praying, I kept meditating. On my off days, I would lift. I was also bodybuilding at the time, and I would go to the beach on my off days after I lifted and just go roast in the sun for as many hours as I could. And I would swim for hours and walk and just charge up in the sun. You guys, the sun gives you energy. The sun is not something that we should be scared of. The sun is life force energy beaming down on this planet. The sun is obviously a star and a being itself, and the sun gives life to Earth, and the sun gives life to us. And being in the sun is so good for you. It charges you with life force energy. It charges you with electrical energy. We don't just get our energy from our food, we get it from the sun. We get it from grounding and being connected to the earth, because that's how we're made to live. This whole like living indoors and always wearing shoes and wearing sunblock, this is all new, and this is what's causing so many problems with human health. Just had to put a little thing in there about that. So anyways, the sun gives you energy. So I would go and spend my off days charging up in the sun, and I was still meditating, and I would meditate in the sun. And I got to a point where social media then became my full-time job, and that was how I got there. And my point in saying this is that I chose to listen to these really strong messages that were coming in for me. And when did it happen? It happened when I started to take care of my health and get healthy and spend time outside in natural light, out of fluorescent lights. I stopped being in fluorescent lights. Those things are bad for you. And spiritually, this aligned my energy to a place to be able to listen to guidance. And I was literally given direct guidance to get to where I am today, and so many signs and synchronicities helped me along the way. So my point in saying this is that my whole life started to change when I got my health in order, when I started getting sunlight, spending time outside in natural light, nourishing my body, not from a place of lack and trying to be pretty to fit society's beauty standards. No, I started nourishing myself. We are meant to be happy and healthy and nourished and full of nutrients, and we need these nutrients. And I also started eating raw foods during this whole time. And I'll just say a really quick thing on this. So I started eating raw foods like raw milk, raw honey first, raw butter, raw dairy, and then I started eating raw meat. And the feeling that I get from eating raw foods, and I've done all this intuitively. I know that there are people that write about it, and I've never seen this anywhere, but I just have this really strong feeling that the raw fats in raw foods, the way that they go into your body, strengthens the connection with your energy bodies and your cells in your physical body. So it helps ground your energy into this physical plane and into this physical existence and into your body. And I feel like that was a really important key for me. I'm not super strict with only eating raw foods, but there are times that I go through with eating pretty much all raw, including like meat, milk, dairy, honey, fruits, vegetables occasionally, like raw carrots. I like arugula. I don't eat a whole lot of vegetables. You need to get your health in order, and this is why I post what I do on Instagram and things, because our health is so important, and as women we need to be healthy and full of life force. You guys, we are so powerful. We are incredibly powerful beings. When you have your health and you have your life force, it is entirely possible to create your reality, to use the power of your heart, to use your mind, to use prayer, to use your connection to God, to higher beings, and to your higher self, to create your reality. There are beings beyond this realm that we can't see that want to help us, and we have to ask for help. They can't just help us out of nowhere without asking. Like, this is a communication relationship that we need to have with other beings. And also, something that really helped me during this time was starting to say affirmations. I did not grow up with a positive self-concept. I did not grow up with like parents programming me in a way that made me this way. In fact, my previous programming was very negative. I started saying affirmations morning and evening, and actually right now I'm working on a set of affirmations for you guys so that you can listen to it first thing when you wake up and in the beginning of the day to really soak into your subconscious mind and create the reality dream life that you desire. So I'm really excited about that, you guys. All in all, you have the power to liberate yourself. Innately, you are a powerful being that came to earth. Align yourself with nature. You need to be nourishing yourself so that you have life force energy and energy to move around this earth, and also spiritual energy. You need your physical health to be spiritually powerful. And if you guys want to hear more about this, like routines and things to start doing this, to reprogram yourself, reprogram your mind, get aligned, let me know. I wanted to explain this story today because it's not really something that I can put a reel out or a post out on Instagram about. It's something that's much more in depth. And these past few years, as I just explained, shattered my entire perception of reality. And I realized that I didn't need to necessarily create in this masculine way on earth that felt really off to me. I could use my energy and my spiritual power to create my reality in a way that felt good to me and more feminine, and I continue to do this. And honestly, you guys, I feel like this is the direction I'm going to take my YouTube in more. I love doing vlogs, so I'll definitely keep doing those and maybe some Q&As, but I want to post some more long content on here to really help you guys and like download my consciousness to you guys, because it's not really something that I can put into like an Instagram post or an Instagram reel. So that is how I got to where I am today and how I created this reality that I'm currently living in. And I would have never thought this was possible before, you guys. I'm telling you, the way that I was led and guided and assisted and helped absolutely blew my mind. Like, these things were just not possible to be coincidences. There's so many more detailed things that I didn't really go into, but these type of synchronicities where it was just like one thing after another and everything is connected, and exactly what I dreamed up in my mind was right in front of me. It just showed me how supported I was and showed me that, okay, Ashley, you have the freedom to create your life. Live your life aligned with God and what you feel. And trust the guidance that you are given, and you will be supported, because this is what God and the entire universe and myself want me to do. And you will always be supported in that. When you listen to that, you will always be supported. I wanted to share my story with you guys because it made me who I am today, and I hope that gets my point across. And also, the birds are so beautiful outside right now. This is your sign to go outside and listen to birdsong and get some sunlight right now and ground your feet on the earth. You need to be doing this as much time as possible. You need to be maximizing your nature time every single day. Now I absolutely love the life that I live. I don't have to answer to anyone. I get to be my own boss and listen to my intuition and live in a way that is aligned with being a woman and being feminine. And sometimes that means taking a few days off of work and not talking to anybody because I'm on my cycle and it's a more spiritual time for me, and I just want to be alone and listen to whatever guidance is coming my way. I guess I'm going to end the video here, and let me know in the comments what other videos you guys want to see from me next. I absolutely love filming YouTube videos. This is definitely like my favorite way to connect with you guys, and it just feels so real. Like, I can just chat to you and download things to you and talk to you so much more in depth. So if you got to the end of this video, I love you so much. I'm sending so much love your way, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye. Love you guys.